Whether President-elect Donald Trump is being sufficiently briefed on national security. But first, I want to get the latest from CNN Pentagon correspondent Barbara Starr. And Barbara, this terror attack in Berlin really underscores the importance of these intelligence briefings.
It really does, Brianna. One of the concerns is if President-elect Trump is not getting a formal briefing from his government intelligence briefer every day, is he getting everything he needs? Is he getting that essential two-way conversation with intelligence professionals, asking the questions, getting the answers, especially important given what has been happening?
When President-elect Donald Trump addressed reporters today, he had his new national security advisor right behind him. Retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn in Florida to discuss world events and staffing. The meeting was on the schedule before the terror attacks in Germany and Turkey. Trump began the day with an official President's Daily Brief, the PDB, his first of the week. Trump's staff insists he is getting some type of intelligence briefing every day and will be on top of things from day one.
He's very much up to speed in what's going on and fully ready for to be sworn in next month and take over the role as Commander-in-Chief.
A U.S. official tells CNN Trump is averaging one formal briefing a week, the same type of intelligence briefing that President Obama gets every day. Trump is also getting briefings on specific topics.
The one thing I will say is that the President-elect is receiving numerous briefings, whether it's from his national security team with General Flynn and others, as well as the formal PBD.
The briefings come amid increasing global turmoil. The Kremlin today said relations with the U.S. have frozen a day after President Obama imposed new sanctions aimed at Russia's involvement in Crimea and Ukraine. Sanctions the incoming president could reverse.
The next administration will obviously have to make their own decisions about this. We hope that they will come to see the wisdom in not conducting business as usual with Russia.
All leading to the greater question, how friendly will the incoming president be to Vladimir Putin?
I think when he calls me brilliant, I'll take the compliment, okay?
He sure has to be more cautious about Russia than he appears to be. I mean, he needs to understand that their interests and their attitude does not align with ours.
Nowhere may that be more clear than the Moscow meeting of Russian, Iranian, and Turkish officials on what to do next in Syria.
All three countries presented here are united.
But U.S. officials still believe the talks will not stop Moscow from continuing its military operations in Syria beyond Aleppo.
So next up may be Donald Trump's decisions about how to fill these additional critical national security jobs. He has yet to announce a nomination for Director of National Intelligence, the top intelligence job, or who he will have as his White House advisors on counterterrorism and homeland security. Brianna?
Barbara Starr, thank you so much reporting for us from the Pentagon. We appreciate it. Back now with Senator Coons. And I want to talk to you about certainly some of the concerns that you have talked about Donald Trump's national security team. We saw part of that in Mar-a-Lago today. What specifically worries you?
Well, what worries me, Brianna, is first that Donald Trump, who's now a month away from being our president, has very limited previous experience in foreign policy matters, in particular in security and intelligence issues, and is foregoing his presidential daily briefing. Second, that he's got a number of folks in his potential cabinet and among his close advisors who have murky ties to senior leaders in Russia. And third, that President-elect Trump himself, in the course of the campaign, made a number of statements about Putin that are either naive or ill-informed or suggest that he's just blind to the threat that he poses to our way of life. Russia has directly attacked our democracy in the course of this election with their cyber attack, and I think we are now seeing bipartisan calls by leaders in the United States Senate for a special committee that will investigate this, and I think it's important for us to recognize the very real threat to the United States posed by cybersecurity attacks from other nations, not least of which, of course, is Russia.
Yeah, that's a bipartisan call for that select committee. There's also a number of Republicans, including leadership, who are opposing that. Do you think, now that we see Donald Trump getting the presidential daily briefing today, we also know, according to his team, that he's going to increase the number that he's getting. There was this show of force with his national security team there today. Do you think these are signs that he's taking these things more seriously?
Well, I hope he's going to take them more seriously. Frankly, the first thing I hope he does is stop tweeting about evolving critical national security issues. He sent out an initial tweet about the three recent incidents around the world that mischaracterized the attack in Zurich. I think he would be well advised to take a briefing first and to tweet little or not at all. And frankly, one of the challenges he's going to face is that he has directly gone against the advice, the united advice of all 17 of our intelligence agencies that have concluded that Russia did attack our electoral system. That's going to create some real tension, Brianna, when he becomes president with the intelligence community that I hope he and his close advisors will work to resolve.
There's another aspect to the Russia story today, sir, and that's that a spokesman for the Kremlin is saying the relationship between the U.S. and Russia is frozen. That is the word that was used. The State Department says that's not true, basically. They're saying diplomatic engagement with Russia continues across a wide range of issues. You're a member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Are relations with Russia frozen?
Well, Brianna, what they're responding to is the next round of sanctions. I led a bipartisan delegation to Ukraine in August. We went to the Czech Republic, Estonia, and Ukraine to look at the impact of Russian aggression. They have illegally occupied Crimea, and they continue to support an inappropriate military action in eastern Ukraine. And frankly, I think it is the right thing for President Obama to be stepping up pressure against Russia to get them to keep their part of the Minsk Accords that could bring resolution to the conflict in Ukraine. So we do have a very strained relationship, and I think that's appropriate given Russia's actions.
So what do you think Russia is trying to do? Are they trying to set the stage for making relations look really bad right now and then maybe thawing them to curry favor with the Trump administration?
That's entirely possible. And while I understand the possible benefits of reviewing our relationship with Russia, of negotiating for a new sort of a reset, I don't think that the Trump administration should step back 1 inch from our insistence that we not allow Putin to get away with the invasion and occupation of a neighboring country, that we not allow Putin to get away with the massacres in Aleppo and the crimes against humanity committed by Assad and in partnership with Russian troops by Hezbollah and Iranian troops in Syria. So we have a strained relationship. I understand that President-elect Trump may try to revisit that relationship, but it's my hope that he won't step back from American commitment to human rights, to NATO, and to the territorial integrity of countries like Ukraine, as well as our NATO allies in the Baltics.
Donald Trump has appointed, he's picked David Friedman to be the U.S. ambassador to Israel. This is someone who supports moving the U.S. embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Do you have concerns with that?
I do have concerns with that. I frankly have concerns about our longer-term direction in U.S.-Israel relations. We have a very close, very strong military and intelligence relationship with Israel today and should continue to have such a strong relationship into the future. But I believe, and many others, a bipartisan range of senators believe that a two-state solution is the only way to preserve the Jewish character of Israel and the democratic character of Israel. I'm concerned that the gentleman nominated by President-elect Trump may not share that commitment to a two-state solution, and his position on moving the embassy in advance of any negotiated resolution between the Israelis and Palestinians may suggest that he's not fully committed to a two-state solution.
All right, Senator Chris Coons, we certainly appreciate you talking to us tonight and making time.
Thank you, Brianna.
Now, we have some breaking news next, the latest on the hunt for the man that German authorities believe carried out that deadly attack on a Christmas market in Berlin. What are his ties to ISIS? Plus, a rare move by Britain's Queen Elizabeth is raising some questions tonight. Are there worries about the security of the royal family?